Against the lowly ranked Buccaneers, both teams started off a little bit slow, though that would not continue as both teams would catch fire, coming down to a late game attempted comeback from our Rams that would leave us 2 points shy after a drop on the 2-point conversion, as we would lose 34-32. Now, despite these losses, we are seeing this offense finally come alive. And Madden is even seeing it as we have a tandem breakout here for our offense. I could only imagine it's going to be for Palmer, who had, I want to say, maybe even 3 touchdowns in that game. And then also the rookie in Ed Jarrett, who had 2 the game prior. We'll see if that is true. And yes, nailed it. Palmer and Jarrett. Jarrett coming to us saying that Palmer killed it last game, and we're going to challenge Ed Jarrett here. We need him to really grow his rookie season. And with that, we also are going to get some XP here for Palmer, 2,500 points, as Ed Jarrett will need 150 plus receiving yards against the Titans. Strictly receiving, meaning we can't do any jet sweeps for him, not that we do, but we need to get the passing game going. And any touchdowns we get for Jarrett will just be an extra bonus to some rewards that we could get if we complete this goal. Now, before we jump into the game, I did want to continue off a little bit with where we left off last episode. So we have seen this defensive line be a problem for us, and we took a look at least a couple different guys at the left end spot, because the edge rush here is supposed to be really good in this class. And over on the left-hand side, Kevin Flowers looks really good. We also have Larry Basley as well, who looks like he could be pretty good. But it's always good to have multiple options. So over on the right-hand side, I think my favorite of the bunch is Randall Billingsley, as he's going to give us some run stopping and some pass rush. He's 22, 6'4", 270 out of TCU. He's a power rusher who has some pretty good physicals here. The only thing that's maybe lacking a little bit is agility, but do we need that at a rush? And I don't really think so. Now, the problem that we're going to have with Randall Billingsley, what's drawing him down from, I think, a pretty high first round pick to around 1 to 2 is the fact he is injury prone with that F injury. He has the A tackling, A power moves, B block shedding, and awareness. I think he could be really good, and we need to find someone to really take charge along this defensive line outside of some pretty good play from Johnny Smith, but it's just not all too consistent. Now, one area I would also like to address in the offseason is at running back. Finding what would probably end up being the successor for Akers, because again, we're using Mr. Hurricane's progression and regression sliders. Akers is going to be, I want to say, 26 or 27 after this year, so he has maybe 1-2 more seasons before he really starts to see some regression. And there was one running back I did like later on, and that is Jeff Boley out of Tennessee. He's listed as a power back at 5'11", 225, 22 years old. But he has good to great speed, great to elite strength, and great to elite acceleration. Agility, not so much. Change of direction, not so much. He could also jump. It's another great to elite. But these skills here seem pretty intriguing to me, with A, break tackle, carrying, stiff arm, and trucking, A to C catching. So he should still be able to run a very similar style game to Akers. Doesn't seem to have great spin move or juke move, with that being a B to a D, but I've still seen those ratings actually be pretty good, with awareness and injury both an A to C, ball carrier vision also that A to C. He looks really intriguing and would be a later round pick for us. And as we progress through the rest of this season, I'll chime in with a few more different guys that we might be targeting, or guys that look interesting at least before these games, so that way you most likely will get to see them a little bit more. So with that now done, we have the breakout opportunity. We have some positive guys looking like in the draft, but now we need to actually get some wins and finally finish what has been some upwards trajectory for our offense as we take on the 2-5 Tennessee Titans. They have a better defense than offense, at least overall wise. Though when it comes down to their rankings, their offense actually looks like it's doing pretty well. 5th in passing yards, average in points per game, and rushing. Their defense is about bottom 10 in every category, though we can't really speak too much upon that ourselves because we've struggled fair bit. Our passing defense has started to drop off. We were a top 10. We're now sitting at average. So if that could come back, that would be fantastic. So let's jump on into this Titans game and see just how well we do. Let's get this matchup underway with the boot through, and if you look at the bottom, Vikings actually get a victory 24-7. Surprising for them as we have a pretty good start here, but can't quite squeeze through the gap. But we'll start at the 28 for CJ Stroud and this offense. He has been pretty solid since coming in. Some of our best completion percentages, QBR, and only 5 touchdowns to 1 interception is pretty good for us. Then we're going to start off with a run down the middle, get Akers going hopefully in this one as we start off with a gain of 6. Throughout the last couple games, running game has been a little bit hit or miss. It'll disappear at times. If we could keep it going more consistently, that'll definitely help out the passing game as we're close and do squeeze out the first down there. We aren't seeing any change along the offensive line, again, due to the 2 big injuries that we had there. Still having some backups out there starting, and they've done an all right job as you have to swing to the outside and don't quite get the ball to the outside, but at least throw out of a sack. Well, we should be getting back some of those offensive linemen shortly. A pair of them are on IR, but again, we should be getting them back pretty quickly. As we're going to go to the jet sweep, Nakua to the outside will pick up 7, make it a 3rd and more manageable. And some of these artificial touches might be needed to get Nakua going a little bit more often, though obviously today main focus is going to be Jarrett, though he's covered pretty well on this play. Stroud trying to step up, but can't find a gap in the line. It will be a sack from Tyre Tart, making it 4th and 5 at the 43. Now, I would love to go for it here, being aggressive because why not? We've only won 1 game. Hard count, no 1 jumps. Going to try to get the halfback screen out. We have a pair of blockers out in front, and we will pick up the first down, though only 1 of the 3 blockers we had in front actually touched anybody. And if you hear any random thumping, you can definitely thank my upstairs neighbors. I don't know what, but I think they're tap dancing up there as Akers breaks off another first down here for us, though his cleanest run of the day, make it 3 carries for 24 yards. But again, offense moves as he does. As we're going to try to set up some slants here, they're covering all of these really well, and it's going to have to be another rollout and throwaway. Now, I don't think I've mentioned it. Jarrett's going to be over on the left-hand side today. We actually had a practice injury for Palmer, so it's going to kind of shake up the starting guys here as would like to get that throw more on the run. DeGuara just picking up 1. He was a 3rd and 9. So we'll come at it from a spread look, have 4 receivers out, 3 to the right-hand side, 1 to the left. We're going to move around Ed Jarrett a little bit today, try to see if that helps us out as we find Nakua, who takes a big shot by Murphy Bunting. But he holds on to it as we're down to the 6. We might go back his way here on 1st and goal. Has that crossing pattern depending on what the safety on the right-hand side does. I would like the one-on-one with Ed Jarrett. That's what we get in. Easy catch for Jarrett. This cornerback had no idea that ball was thrown. First catch of the day is the first touchdown for the rookie. With that lead now intact, it's time to see if this defense can hold it. Ever since we really have seen the offense play well, the defense has honestly been letting up. Though through that play, we have seen Rice, the 2nd-year corner, actually have a much better season and really start to make us think he might possibly and probably is going to be one of the mainstays on the outside for the future. Especially as he also does pretty well in the tackle as he helps us get the stop there, 3rd and 1. Derrick Henry still the running back here. We send the quick blitz, but the throw is perfect from Lance. But it's through his receiver's hands. Will be 4th and 1, a drop by Johnson. And just like that, defense is off the field quickly, doing their part. Now, great opportunity here for our offense to try to build upon a good start as Akers breaking to the outside will almost break away from Murphy Bunting, but then gets spun around, a gain of 8. And a single high safety to follow up on 2nd and 2 as we have the deep crossing pattern here. Marshall over on the right, Jarrett on the left-hand side. We'll see who quite gets open right above and bringing it in. Also, what a throw there from Stroud over the linebacker, just tall enough for Jarrett to wrap it up. That was 100% not a throw we would have seen from Bo Harold. So Stroud definitely is getting this offense going in the positive direction as we try to find a cutback lane here. Akers had it to the left, but looks like he maybe stumbled into the back of the line and we'll just get 2. And on top of that, we'll send him to the sideline here. Get Gibson out there, a little bit of a breather. As we're gonna try to set up a receiver screen to this left-hand side, get some blocks out there, which we do. However, they don't quite hold up very long for Marshall. We'll just gain 1. So we'll need to get to around the 39, just past the 39 for a first down here as we come out with a tight shotgun look. Keeping things hopefully short and quick, or go down to Jarrett, who gets the grab, but then taken out from behind. The ball pops free. Caleb Farley with the defense there, as we have a 4th and 7 here. Not actually going to try to go for it here. I wanted to see if we could get the defense to jump, but instead it's Smith over at the right tackle spot, and we will punt from here. So we were not able to follow up a good offensive start with any more points. Though we're seeing some pretty decent play from Jarrett. Just need to hopefully see a few more grabs as they go back to Johnson here, who dropped it. Their last possession does bring it in for a gain of 4 and sends us to the second quarter. That first drive was definitely all us, though the Titans only had the ball for 4 plays offensively. Pretty reminiscent, I would say, of college football, as it's 2nd and 6. Finally going to go to Henry down the middle. Graham there and slows him down and eventually brings him down. Just a gain of 1. Kind of shocking to wait an entire quarter to finally give 1 carry to Derrick Henry. As it's 3rd and 5, trying to set up some play across the middle. Not much opening up, and defense with great coverage and a little bit of pressure at the end gets off the field once again. And we'll have another opportunity to try to widen this lead as we start with a little bit of some play action. Tommy Trumbull with some space, but that one was well overthrown. Maybe we should go back to the running play. Try to at least gain something here on 2nd down. As I say that, watch the line not do much. As we try to find a little bit of space, and yeah, they definitely don't do much. 3rd and 10. Now with us needing to change things up a little bit here, let's spread wide with 2 to the left, 1 over to the right. A little bit of some play action, some crossing routes. Seem to work best for this team as we're needing to roll. We have our receiver in Jarrett, but he just cannot quite get to it. Throwing on the run, pass was a little bit off. It'll be a 3 and out for our offense. And for what could possibly be the first time that we've ever seen a good punt, gets them down at about the 2. Henry, though, picks up 3, creating a little bit of some space. And they'll continue with the heavy set, so let's try to match it here. Biggs versus Biggs. Henry trying to find space. Beautiful blocking, opens up a lane, but he doesn't quite keep his feet. Tackled from the rookie, Swain. And on 3rd and short, let's bring the pressure. Double A-gap blitz. Does at least throw off some timing. Adebo caught slightly off in man coverage, but the ball too far out in front, and we'll get off the field again. And I would honestly say this is probably the most even we've started a game, both offensively and defensively. First drive with a touchdown. Defense has been pretty solid every drive, though we haven't scored since. So, yeah, pretty even. Titans definitely doing a pretty good job of stacking the box, where we try to play a majority of our plays. We don't do a whole lot on the outside. It's mostly all across the middle, as we'll get that one out late, and it's overthrown with the pressure bearing down. So maybe that means we should change things up a little bit. So let's try to go with the halfback screen here. See if we can get people out in front without them reading it. And, well, Armstead definitely was holding on to Akers, and we had to throw it away. So 4th and 9 at about the 50. Again, I think it's going to be a safer call for us to punt this one away. And once again, it comes out to be pretty good for us. As once again, downing them inside the 5. Get the quick blitz. Henry met again by Swain. Will be a loss of 1. Trying to be a little aggressive here without being overly aggressive and getting burned on a quick throw or even over the top. Quick stop there, though they do get back that 1 yard. And that'll leave him with a 3rd and 10, still at the 4. Back to Henry down the middle. Murray will get the tackle along with Nick Bell. A 4th and 6. They'll probably be punting from the end zone. Let's try to bring some heat here. See if we could get a quick rush. Swain off this left-hand side. Does not quite get there, but he was close. Williams, though, back to return. Spin goes nowhere. We'll start at the 43. We definitely have to get this offense moving as they're stacking the box again here. Let's try to have some outside play this go around. See if that will help us out much at all as we were rolling and meet Armstead. We had some options opening up on the outside. I want to say it was Marshall even who was breaking open, but not enough time to get the ball there. Coming across, we're going to have Tommy Tremble who drops it. And that now leaves us with a 3rd and 18. As they bring down the safety to this right-hand side, let's slide the line that way. Everyone else, they're going deep here. Need to try to find an opening. It's Marshall, but the throw is not very good from Stroud. Just needed to put it on the man. He wasn't in coverage at all, and it would have been a big first down. Instead, we're just trading field position as the Titans finally don't start in their own end zone. We'll be at the 16. As they go with the read option, Murray gets the stop just past the line, about a gain of a yard, maybe half a yard. As we hit the 2-minute warning as well, playing a lot of man coverage as the defense today, and it's working out pretty well for us. So I do expect that to kind of be the mainstay for us as they do finally get one by Adebo, finding Hopkins up to the 33 and quickly back to the line as well. Trying to send a blitz. We have Conley who forces a early throw and almost jumped by Curse. Would have been one heck of an interception. Instead, 2nd and 10. With a bunch over to the left-hand side, trying to set up the screen. And we had Smith there. He got spun around at the end, and luckily it was a drop. Otherwise, that could have been a first down. But it will be another chance to get off the field here. 3rd and 10. They got a bunch over to the left-hand side. They will be setting up a throw and have it right across the middle to one of their tight ends to the opposite 44. And once again, right back to it. With now a spread look, 3 over to that left-hand side, 1 to the right, and they go back to the tight end again, and they keep getting these. Titans offense started off very slow, similar to how ours has been ever since the first drive, but since then they're rolling. As they go with a halfback screen, Gainwell tried to get the spin, but does not, and it will be a 2nd and 3, though they're inside the red zone. With a spread look, 2 to the right-hand side, another quick throw to the outside. We're playing off coverage. Got to have that Titan. They break 1 tackle and inside the 10. I will say Lance has started the game off pretty well. His balls have been mostly accurate, a couple just slightly off. As they cover everyone, it's Rice with another interception. He didn't have a single one his rookie year. His sophomore already has at least 3, might even be 4. Ends up being a great play for us, so with only 28 seconds, you wouldn't imagine it's a scoring threat, at least how we have been playing, but we find Nakua there, and hey, let's call a timeout as we move up to the 42. With how Stroud's accuracy has been in that second quarter, did not expect that one. Was almost overthrown, but ends up working out pretty well for us. We have a one-on-one. Jarrett had the step for a second and almost brings it in after the tip, but it does hit the turf. I would say we need to get to around the 37 probably for a field goal. So a fair few yards left to go here before we're at least in some threat of a range, as we do find Tommy Tremble, but not out of bounds. So we'll call the timeout there. We're at the 47. Now with 11 seconds, we could just still take a shot deep. We have a timeout. I'm gonna have Tommy release late here. See if that might help us out if we don't have much opening up. But to the right-hand side, Marshall, the pass is a little bit underthrown with 5 seconds left. And we're definitely not in field goal range. We would need something really quick here. We're going to send the slant, see if someone can find a little bit of space. Nakua with the grab, gets down with 1 second left. Timeout call, but from the 40, I don't think we have that kind of leg with Brown. It's a 47-yarder. But he said he wants to try it, and the likelihood of him getting it's probably better than a Hail Mary. So Brown, with the hold down, the kick is up, and it squeezes in a 57-yarder for Brown to end this first half, make it a 10-0 game. As we finally get some points on the board since that first offensive drive, passing just over 100 yards. not as good as what you thought we would have had again with that first drive. Since then, offense definitely went into a lull, but bounced back a little bit there at the end of the half. Defense solid throughout. That's what we love to see. Now, as we take a look at the Seahawks game, one of our division rivals, they are 5-1, currently up on the 5-2 Jaguars at halftime, 14-0. Second matchup, Minnesota Vikings, hurting right now IRL as they get the win 24-7. If you did not see yesterday, Kirk Cousins out for the season with an Achilles tear. Really hate to see that. That's probably going to be his last game as a Viking. As we get back to the universe here though, Bengals down 17-14 to a division rival, Cardinals. Now let's just hope this score continues on as we get the second half underway. It will be a touchback. Titans will start at the 25, and they have not managed much yet. Though they were close, one drive until Rice had his interception in the back of the end zone. Was a pretty decent throw. Even right there is a pretty decent throw, though not held on to by Johnson, his second drop of the day. Though the offense was definitely moving when they were getting those tight ends involved. So I look for them to do a little bit more of that in this second half. As I go to Henry, trying to find some space down the middle, will squeeze out the first down with that stiff arm, buying just enough time, a gain of about 11, maybe 12. But again, they just don't seem to be going his way often, as we're going to try to bring a little bit of blitz off this left-hand side, provide a little bit of pressure, or they're going to throw right over it. Burks with a gain of 8. I will say today, so far, Lance has been really good just as a field general. With a good catch downfield, Hopkins, another first down. They're getting things moving here. And on top of it, do have to give credit to their offensive line. Haven't given up a sack. I wouldn't even really say they've given up a hurry yet. As they go downfield, Rice step for step with Hopkins. Would have taken a really good throw there to get it. And they almost had it, just about a step, maybe two, too far out in front. To Henry, and the diving rookie in Woodyard gets the stop, keeping that gain short. We've seen Woodyard have to come in here and there. I would say we definitely have a problem in Madden, or maybe it's a little bit with some slider set, as Woodyard diving misses, another dive misses, but we do force the throwaway. 4th and 9 at the 38. What do they go with? At least they're going to send out Lutz. Kicking from the 45 would make it a 55-yarder. But stamina definitely is a major play here in Madden, as we're seeing a lot more rotation, and we actually finally see a score here from the Titans, make it a 7-point ball game once again. As we finally start our offensive drive here to start off the second half, we're going to try to change things up a little bit. Trying to go with at least some outside running as we actually go with the RPO, swinging that one out for a actually decent gain. Marking that as a gain of 4. To Marshall, who I feel like that's actually his second catch. Don't remember his first then. As we hand it off, Akers, a quick stop. Armstead down the middle. Doing their best to disrupt what I was trying to get going, which was some outside running. Try to play a little bit more on the outside in this one. See if that opens things up. As we had Akers and Williams both get beat by Armstead. Armstead just wrecked that entire drive, as we have 4th and 13 and we'll have to punt. And it actually makes for a prime opportunity for the Titans here to try to get back even here. As they start up at the 38 following a pretty good punt return. Going to the outside, dumping this one off. Burks with the catch, and we'll pick up 6. And we'll say at least when we do give up some catches today, we've been pretty quick to get the tackle. Really not much in terms of run after the catch, as we're there immediately on the screen going nowhere. And on 3rd and 4, they'll come out with a bunch. Once again, trying to keep some things short here. Lance doesn't quite have anywhere to go, but somehow just slips by Murray, diving forward with a first down at the 43. Can't really even say he put a move on there. Murray maybe just sitting a little bit more flat-footed, trying to both cover the receiver as well as the quarterback, as they do finally get one over the top, breaking one tackle, but not away. Donovan Peoples-Jones to the 12. That was just another well-thrown ball there by Lance. Over the top of Adebo, who was sitting underneath, trying to lurk a little bit, as there's a great run stop by Luke Peak, right down the middle, stopping Henry for a loss of 1. Really need to see him have a dominant second half here, because we're looking to make some changes when we get to the offseason at this defensive line spot, as Graham does a good job of forcing the bounce to the outside and an even better job of filling Swain in there once again. He's definitely getting stuck in a little bit more in this game. Haven't seen a whole lot from Curse. We really only seem to get big play from one of our safeties each game. As they're going across the middle, big hit from Murray. Does not knock it free, but it keeps him out of the end zone for now. But when you have a guy like Derrick Henry, that's where you expect them to go. And that's exactly where they go, losing a yard on 1st and goal. But how many times can we expect to get that kind of stop? As they're going to motion over their tight end to this right-hand side. Let's shift the line that way, try to create some advantage, but no. Henry slips underneath the linebacker, plowing through another and levels this game up. Once again, we've let a team stick around. And as we're closing out the 3rd quarter here, we got a level ball game. We had all the opportunity to pull out in front, and can we please get some blocking up front? I know this Titans team, they have a pretty good front line, but we've got to be able to do better. As we go with a run to the outside, picking up some good blocks there. Akers, close, and does pick up the 1st down, though apparently not out of bounds, keeping this clock moving. And with that, we move into the 4th quarter. This game level at 10. We really did not do a whole lot in this game offensively. We had the challenge for Jarrett, 150 receiving yards, and he's definitely not close to that. As we start this 4th quarter, needing to find something, Stroud will pick up a gain of 4, sliding down, safe play. And now they bring down the safety to the left-hand side. So let's make an adjustment with the line here. We're going to see if we can get Jarrett over the top of that blitz, and we do, with a 1st down gained, close to or past, actually well past midfield, down to the 40. Only makes 47 yards for him, so still need 103 for him. He did have our one and only touchdown, though, so that part is pretty good. As once again, going to have to step up here. Stroud trying to traverse, sliding down, though he definitely took a shot from a no-no place. Sure, that was not comfortable for their linebacker, leaving 2nd and 1. As we're going to continue on with the bunch look here. Going to have Jarrett on a little bit more of a developing route, though we're going to go instead with Davis on the zig, picking up the 1st down. And I think where we've gotten ourselves in trouble a lot is doing too much play action. So let's try to limit that here in the 4th quarter. As we go across, that ball greatly overthrown for Tommy Tremble. Really throws off the groove we were on too. So as we stick with the spread look here, let's try to secure at least some yards gained, as Akers will pick up 1. Obviously leaving us with 9 more here on 3rd. Hard count, no 1 jumps. Need to play safe here. Flip this one up for Tommy, but he cannot hold it. Al-Shaair knocks it away. He's had a pretty good game, and Brown out to once again try to put us in front. As it is up, it's looking good, leaning right, but stays true. We will take a field goal lead here, 13-10. And once again, now relying on this defense to continue what they've done pretty well with today, only giving up 10 points. As they'll swing this one out, it's going to be wide open as Henry breaks the tackle, finally getting stuck into this game. He's down. Somehow we don't get the tackle with Curse. And in one play, Derrick Henry nearly flipping this game. They're down to the 8. Appear to be some busted man coverage there from the linebacker group. Left Derrick Henry all alone as he's still out there. Did not need the breather for the veteran quarterback, as Nick Bell gets a hit in late there on the quarterback, forcing it away. And we'll stick with a tight look here as Lance right down the middle. Graham was sitting there. Just never saw him take off. And now the Titans, despite doing the least amount today, are in front. Oh, how quickly a game can flip on its head. We were up 10-0 at half, now down 17-13. About halfway through the 4th quarter. Needing to get things going here, it's off of Jarrett's hands. We saw that all too often last week. And it was when we started seeing those, was when things started to not go our way. Need to see something better here as Akers bursts through the middle, is close to a first. 3rd and 1. Needing the first down here. It's the strong eye pistol set. With some room to the outside, Akers will bounce, picking up the first and scampering to the 45 and out of bounds. Sub 4 minutes left. Just need to keep things moving here. Tommy Tremble to the outside. That's not what I meant by the outside. Need that to be a better throw. Let's try to go back to something we haven't ran in a little bit here as Gibson checks in. Gonna try to go with a halfback screen. We do get it out. We pick up a block. Gibson will get the first down, though not by much. Needed some better blocking there from Williams, but can't complain about the first. They're also gonna walk down the safety here on the left-hand side. Let's ensure we have enough blockers over there. Tight end, it was actually Nakua on the crossing route, and apparently we just can't hit those today. Not sure what's gotten into Stroud, but these crossing routes have all just been off today. As we want to go with this screen, we'll get it out a little bit late, but just no room there. Will be a loss of 4. And on a 3rd and long, it's a big play here. Hard count. Williams jumps at the left guard spot. So let's make it an even worse position here for us. 3rd and 19. Got a little bit of a customized play here. Jarrett coming on the in route as soon as he gets to the line. Nakua down the seam, probably going to be our main options, as we're going to not have enough time to get that one off. 4th and 19, you probably need to punt it here. And once again, it's a good punt. This is the best punting game we've had so far. They're down at the 6 to start the drive. Going with the carry to the outside, not by Murray Jr. this time. And on 2nd and 11, they'll come out with pistol. 2 receivers to the right, 1 over to the left. We're going to bring the blitz. As long as they snap it here, they do. They hand it off down the middle. Henry close to the first down, leaving 3rd and 2. And it's an empty set here, so we're going to have to change things up. Was not expecting him to go empty, and it's going to be a first down for Burks. Following the 2-minute warning, they get a clutch first down. Did not want to have to waste a timeout before that play. Probably should have. As we're about at the minute mark here, minute 15. They'll hand it off. Henry runs through the big hit. Swain will get the tackle gain of 3 as the first timeout is called. I was 100% expecting him to spread out on 3rd down, then hand it off to Henry. But they definitely outcoached me there for sure. As Henry breaks to the outside, a great tackle by Adebo brings up a possible game-winning play here. 3rd and 4. And once again, they do spread wide. We need tight coverage here. Will be a throw, quite obviously, across the middle. And what was that coverage from Graham? I said tight coverage. Man up, sit underneath, and they go with a quick stop to Gainwell. It was the exact kind of play I expected, the exact kind of play I told them to guard against, and they do not. Titans storm back in the second half, going 17-3. And once again, it'll be another loss for our Rams on a game that we gave it up. The clock hits 0, another. It's not even devastating loss. It is purely on this offense. They are not scoring, and they've got to find a way to do it. This defense at this point has to be getting extremely frustrated in that locker room. Offense is not moving. The defense keeps holding these teams to pretty good points. We've had a couple games where they do give up some points, but all in all, this defense continues to be the better part. We've had a couple games here and there where Stroud does perform pretty well, but today he did not perform very well. In fact, I do want to even go in and take a look at what his numbers were for this game. And yeah, as expected, is not pretty. 33 attempts, completing only 15. He was 45%. His rating was just under a 70. He did have the 1 touchdown early on the very first drive, but since then, I mean, he really couldn't do anything. Throws across the middle. It's like what this offense is designed for. Nothing. We just could not complete those. Really could have been a whole different game if we were able to complete those passes across the middle. Now, obviously, that means we're not going to get any sort of development here, unfortunately, for the rookie. We'll just confirm that though. And he was really ready to head into the week. Didn't go didn't go his way. I want to say he maybe had 1 or 2 drops, but outside of that, I mean, offense just, after that first drive, they just stopped playing. Didn't score a single point. We had 2 field goals from Brown, including a 57-yarder, which was great, but that was about it. And that was week 8, so no trades can be made. We are 1-7 at the halfway point. We'll go through a bye week, and then it's on to week 10 tomorrow against the Carolina Panthers. So hopefully this offense can get going a bit more in the second half. If not, we're going to have at least a really good draft pick, but I expect more from this offense. We have the guys to do it. We just need to see it. So until next time, where we should be getting back an edge rusher and Bonito, some offensive linemen as well. We'll see you guys then. So make sure to hit that bell icon on the bottom right, or scroll down to the subscription button, and definitely tick that bell icon to be notified of when these videos go live. This series every single Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday with the state-only challenge, who unfortunately did not win the Super Bowl. The Central Plains States-only challenge did not win the Super Bowl on Saturday, so it will be season 4 on Wednesday. Do not miss out. And until next time, Carolina Panthers, and hopefully a whole lot more from this offense. We'll see you guys then. Bye.